Hey guys, it's me, Simon Comics, and today I am doing a video for the Tomb of Comics. So the Tomb of Comics is having a 100 sub contest. He's currently at the recording of this video at 93 subscribers. He'll be at 100 in no time. He'll pass 100 in no time. So it's a really fun contest. I thought it was very unique. So it'd be 18 years and older, US or Canada. Sorry, no worldwide, but maybe you could message him, work something out. Be subscribed. Put the link in his description. If you make a video, you get 3 entries. You make a comment, you get 1 entry. So he wants to know, who is a C-list character you like? Why are they not an A or B-list character, like their status? And be obscure. This contest ends October 18th. It's a Thursday, if you're wondering. So I thought that this was very unique in the contest idea of why. He wanted to know why we thought that way. So I'm gonna start out with a character that's in the Adventure Comics. Now, Sandman, you've probably heard of him, but you don't really know him. Maybe some people haven't even heard of him. So the Sandman, he started out, as far as I know, at least what I'm familiar with, he started out in Adventure Comics. And Adventure Comics, so I'm not sure what issue, if he was there from the first or not, but I know the issue wasn't doing too bad, but it wasn't doing great. So then Simon and Kirby came in after the fallout in, actually while they were working on Captain America, they worked on Adventure Comics. They started with issue number 73, 72, 73. Well, 73 was really their first issue. And they reinvented the Sandman with number 73. No, they reinvented Manhunter and Sandman, I believe. So they reinvented that, and the Adventure Comics became a hit. It went to number 1. Then they started working on it more and more. They got fired from Marvel. Then they went full-time at DC Comics. And the thing with the Sandman, a lot of Simon and Kirby's work from the 40s, is that it tried to be brought back, and these were so popular during the war, and even after, because this series went for so long. So it was popular. The thing is that over time, I think people lost interest, and they were really the special sauce that made Manhunter work. For example, they brought him back. Carmine Infantino, creator of Barry Allen Flash, famously brought Joe Simon and Jack Kirby back together for this Sandman issue, number 1. And Joe Simon only did the first issue, of new material. And this one is signed by Mike Royer. So they tried bringing him back. The Sandman ran for 13, 14 issues. But Sandman number 1 sold the best. Now, after, I don't want to say anything, but after Joe Simon left, the sales weren't as good as the first issue. But back to the Sandman. The reason why I think the Sandman is not a A-list or B-list character, because people there hasn't been a great Sandman story based on this Sandman. Now, there is a Neil Gaiman Sandman, and that is based off of Simon and Kirby Sandman. But this Sandman has never really taken off like it did in the 40s. So that's why I think that this is still, unfortunately, C-list character. It used to be A-list, but unfortunately, after time, it has become now a C-list character. But if they get really good writers and artists, probably not as good as Simon and Kirby, because they were really outstanding, but maybe something can be done and he could be saved, because it is a great character. So next I have, funny, these are all DC. I'm not throwing any shade or anything. I'm not saying anything about DC Comics. So here we have Prez number 1 and the Green Team. Now, most of you probably haven't heard of these two, or have heard of probably the Prez more than the Green Team, but first issue special tend to be overlooked. Now, So let's start with the Prez. The Prez was a concept by Joe Simon, and believe it or not, his son actually contributed a lot to the story, and they also both wrote the comic book makers. But with the Prez, it started out, and the sales were actually, it wasn't extraordinary, but it wasn't too bad. And so they ran a few issues. It's about this teenage president, and you would think about it, what's a big demographic of the comic book industry? Teenagers. Wouldn't it be cool if they were president? So the story, at least I think, is a great concept, and it ran for 4 issues. Now, it was canceled by Carmine Infantino's boss, but Carmine wanted to keep it around, but the boss, he said, nah, get rid of it. So that's why I think it never had enough time to catch on. I think and the artist Jerry Grandinetti, in my opinion, he has a unique style. I'm not saying it's my favorite. It's definitely not my favorite, but he tends to be undervalued in my opinion and in a lot of his work. But I think if you gave it 10 issues, people would start really really liking it. And the Green Team, the problem with the Green Team is, like I said, it's a first issue special. It's a great concept, but I don't, at least not now. Like, this is a 25-cent book, and Batman started in the Golden Age, and Iron Man started in the Silver Age. Now, these two characters are both rich, and they have these superheroes. Now, the Green Team is rich, but they're not a superhero. And when it comes to richness and not being a superhero, I don't feel people will grasp onto the character as much as if you were rich and a superhero. They don't want to see someone who's rich just prowling around, but they also, I think they'll take the richness if they're a superhero. I don't know why that is, but I think that's one of the reasons why the Green Team never kicked off. It's a first issue special. Like I said, they tend to be overlooked. There's really no big characters that started from the first issue special. At least, just like 1 or 2, but not any household names like Captain America or Green Lantern. If you understand what I'm saying. Like, it wasn't a big kickoff for. I think it was meant to be a first issue special, but it just never happened. So this is why I think these 3 characters are a C-list characters. Now, I don't really like calling any character a C-lister because I feel each has their own uniqueness and style, but truth be told, not everyone can be A-list, but still fantastic characters and fantastic books. I really suggest you pick up Prez. And I know the adventure comics are hard to get and a bit pricey. Like this, especially this, these early issues, actually any issue from Simon and Kirby in this kind of condition will run you about $300-400 easy. So, but they do make reprints, and I really suggest you check those reprints out. And I think you'll understand why it was such a big character, and you would kind of question how come it's still not around, but I think it had to do a lot with the creators. For all these comics, without the creators' touch, only very few people can take on a character and make it as well as the original creators have done. Now, a lot of people, for example, Batman created by Bob Kane, Bill Finger, Jerry Robinson. Batman, a lot of people favored Batman when it was just Bob Kane, Bill Finger, Jerry Robinson. And then a few other people came around. Batman was whatever. And then Neil Adams, he took it over, and he's a fan favorite for writing Batman and drawing Batman. And very few people have been able to do that. And if you look at the characters, there hasn't been a Captain America writer since Joe Simon, the creator of Captain America, and Jack Kirby. Since Jack has passed, there hasn't been an artist, and Joe has passed, there hasn't been one artist that people have really loved as much as Joe and Jack's work. Now, Joe and Jack's work, it's back in the 40s, but there hasn't been a person to captivate the meaning of the character like the creators can do themselves, if you understand what I'm saying. So, that's my contest entry for the Tomb of Comics. Sorry it's a little long, but if you're still here, then I hope you enjoyed. So thanks so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.